What's up? What's up? It's Detroit Madman here with some Hearthstone. I've been trying to play a fatigued druid, and I've lost all 6 games that I've played with it. So I have no idea what I'm doing wrong, but I thought it'd be pretty funny to play a couple and see if I can continue losing. I've messed with this deck a little bit in the past, and I've never had any success with it. I don't think the play style suits me, but I'm intrigued by it. And we're a couple days here before Black Rock Mountain comes out. So I figured I'd jump on and try to figure this deck out a little bit.
I must protect the wild.
So against a mage here, I guess my goal is to start right away. I'm going to get rid of the health. See the Swamp Ooze. I'm going to keep it just because it's a 2-cast. Don't know if that's the right call here. Obviously, he's not going to have a weapon.
I am ready.
Alright, so nothing going on there.
Powering up. Portals online.
So I'm going to go ahead and Wrath that. Kind of limited his casting ability a little bit, I hope. Is this too loud here?
Something needs tinkering?
See, with these mech decks, for me at least, the problem I've had is they're able to cast enough and do enough damage to me. And I don't have anything here that's milling him. And I think that's where I get confused, because in Magic, when I would play, I used to run mill decks. And it was an obvious strategy to me on how the cards would come right out of the gate and start milling, where in Hearthstone it seems like you really got to try a lot harder to start milling them. Kind of don't know what to do here. Seems like a waste of a turn. I want to swipe this and get it off the board here. See, I don't know if I'm supposed to... Okay, so... I'm glad I didn't do anything stupid there. So he's at 10 cards now, I believe.
My hand is too full.
For the wild. Job done.
My hand is too full.
He's got 9 cards now. Let's see what happens here.
Something needs tinkering? I can fix anything.
So I can... I can do that next turn.
For a little while, I pack a big punch.
See how this goes.
I must safeguard the land.
All right, so... go with this.
For the wild.
Can I help you, sir?
Intensification commencing.
So he goes with Jeeves. That's interesting.
safeguard the land. I'll put it on your tab.
Not sure on that. That's probably a bad play because I don't have a strategy for it other than if he puts something else out. Whoa. Double G's? Alright, that just distracted him. Let's, I know you're probably looking at this going, well, there's the obvious play, but...
What to do? Another round.
What should I do here? Just clear the board. Probably have some worthless cards coming up. I think I only have one innervate though. Okay, so no problem.
Another round. For the wild.
I don't know why I did that. What did I do wrong there?
Almost out of cards.
What to do? I must safeguard the land.
Out of cards.
What does he have left? Fireballs? 2 fireballs?
I can fix
No?
anything.
Wow. So there it is. My first win with the mill deck or the fatigue deck. Kind of lucked into it there at the end. So let's I'm gonna show you what's in that deck, and then I'll show you another deck I've been messing with. Alright, the fatigue deck has single innervate, single claw, 2 naturalize, 2 wrath, 1 ooze, 1 owl, 1 pyro, actually 2 pyros, 1's gold, 2 healing touch, a BGH, 2 cold light oracles, 1 grove tender, which I'm actually thinking about adding another one of these and maybe removing the ooze. Now the ooze comes in handy. I'll just keep the ooze in there for now. Couple poison seeds, a swipe, 1 brewmaster, 2 keepers, 2 starfall, which I've seen most of these decks only have 1. But as you could see in that last game, it was kind of beneficial, especially against the mechs, to have that added 2 damage or 5 damage spell. I've got 2 of the heal bots, 1 force of nature, which I've always used defensively, and up to last game, not in a winning way, but well, 1 force of nature, 2 starfire, and the single tree of life, which I didn't even need to use last game. This is the deck I'm gonna try to win with here. Oh, let me go back. This deck kind of wins against everything. It's consistent. I'll play a lot of games and win, and then I'll play some games and obviously lose. I'll get out raced in the beginning on some games, but if I can get defense up, it turns into like dropping bombs. So I use a defensive strategy with this deck that gets real brutal at the end of the games usually. Another one of my strategies in this game is if I get an innervate ogre, I go for it first turn, and I've actually won quite a few games where ogre just pounded them for their like 3 or 4 turns. You know, if I get an Annoyatron up in front of it, or a Cobra or something, I'm able to take out his bigger creatures in the first few turns that he gets out to try to take it out, and it's a pretty fun card. I actually really love this brute. One of my favorite cards out of the new set, believe it or not. So this deck's running 2 innervates, 2 Annoyatrons, 2 Cobras, which I like these mid to late game. They come out and they usually draw attention right away. People, if somebody has something in their hand, they usually try to get rid of that, and it tips their hand to me a little bit, if that makes any sense. Swipe, a couple of those, which I just recently added 1 more because of the paladins, able to clear those. It gives a nice board sweep against the pallies before they get their muster combo off. A couple starfalls, which again I've had 1 or 2 of these in the deck ever since I started playing this about a month ago, and this is kind of a card I'll take out, put in, take out, put in, and I never really quite have a reason to have 1 or 2. It's just my gut. A couple Keeper of the Groves, Druid of the New Claw, or Druid of the Claw, Lotheb, couple Sludge, which I like. You know, you like big stuff hiding behind this as much as possible late game. I got a Sylvanas, 1 Black Knight, which is really, I love the tempo that it swings, and Black Knight. I've had a couple times where I've taken this out of the deck, but I always have a reason to put him back in. So that's how he gets back in there. Ancient of War, a couple of those. Dr. Boom, Trogzor, which when the Mech Mage really started being like every other deck, it seemed about a month ago, I put those in, and it's just one of those things they got to deal with at the end of the games when they're ready to start, you know, freezing stuff and doing things like that. I get some value out of it. The Kaltazad, the swings this card does in games, I love it. I hate playing against it, love playing with it. Rag is, you know, just that fireball that you get, no matter who you're playing against. The Sneed Old Shredder is a recent addition to this deck. I think what I have in here before, I can't remember what I had in there before, but I think I had Ysera. So I put this in instead of Ysera, which I mean, any of these high-end legendaries is swappable in this deck. I mean, this deck is just out to do one thing, is hide behind some taunt, get to turn 5-6, pop that Innervate, and get your big boy out. And as you see, I took out to accommodate kind of having more beef in here and a little bit more direct damage. I took out the Wild Growths. I always seem to have them in hand at the end of the game a little bit more, or draw them at the end of the game a little bit more than I liked. So I've done well without it. I took it out, and I've still had fun playing this deck. So then wrapping it up, I've got Alistrasia, which I think is one of my favorite cards all time. From my early days of playing Frost Mage about a year ago, the single reason that I would win games is this card right here, and it works. To me, it works in any situation, end game. Very few times do I have it sitting in my hand without a reason to throw it in, either to lower. And against warriors also, when they're sitting at 30 health and 18 armor, you know, to cut that to 32 points of damage you need to do to them to win, really makes the games possible to win at the end, at least for me. And then Cenarius, which he always comes in and does well, whatever he does, as long as he got the mana for him. And then they're not being able to take him out with the big game hunter if you get him like turn 7 with a Innervate too. So, all right, I'm gonna try to play a game with this. We'll see who we get matched up with. And I haven't played much this month ranked. I haven't been able to spring like 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours together where I can just sit down and play a lot this month. I've been real busy, so I've stayed away from the rank. I just been doing a lot of deck tech too. I've, you know, with BlackRock coming out, just probably played maybe 10 or 12 different decks this month total. At one point I deleted all my decks down to 4 or 5 and just, you know, kind of went out there and pieced together a few. Sometimes I'll take a look at the net decks and see what's going on, but for the most part, I like to only do that as a base and then try to find other stuff that I like to play. So my goal with this here, I'm definitely getting rid of this to start with. I love the Brutes against Priest because they're gonna try to get their 1/3 out right away, and that's why I love that. That's kind of how that card came about. Now with a Druid,
Job's done.
you know, who knows what you're gonna see in the Druid matchup. He could be stacked in a hand with a bunch of mana ramp right now, and you just never know. But you know, with knowing what this deck can pull out of it with the 5/10 taunters and stuff like that, I'll save my Cobra until as late as possible if needed. Better end the turn. So 2 Cobras. He's got a little ramp going on. He's probably going to have a sludge or something out soon, I think. So I'm just going to go with the Ogre, and then I'll probably go... we'll see. I might be... I might have to silence something here pretty quick. So, I mean, it's not a big deal to me, at least, and, you know, to silence these, I kind of save my silence for later if possible. But now, since I've got a couple of them, I'll put one of those out, and I'll go after that. Just trade. And then, that's not bad. Could have been worse. So he's going to trade with me. Oh no, he's going to... I thought he'd take the card there and trade, but I guess not. We're going to just get our sludge out next. I like this card. I was iffy on it for a long time. It always seemed like the odd man out when I was in that 5 mana spot. But I really like it now. I use each side of that option probably just as much now. All right, let's see. Just throw a taunter up. We haven't pulled any big boys yet. Usually have something big in my hand by now.
I must safeguard the land.
I'm a little bit ahead here. I'm going to go ahead and get that out there right now. Just in case he comes down with a Dr. Boom. It kind of gives me an out with that where I can just trade. No, he doesn't like that. I'm going to go with Rag here. See if I can get this off the board. Make him have to deal with that. BGH. Yeah, so I knew the big game hunter was probably coming here. Let's see. Double swipe. So let's see here. Do I save it? Or do I go to face, kill that, and leave him with a 4-1?
What to do?
Just get it out of there. Now we don't have to deal with it. And we should be pulling down some heavy hitters here soon. We got a little bit of defense here. It's not going to affect us in any way. Let's do that.
I must safeguard the land.
I have no time for games.
Let's see what happens. Where's my BGH?
Heal nature's wrath.
Let's see what kind of predicament this puts him in. So you got swipies. Wow.
I can see.
That's yeah, that's definitely winning by the skin of your teeth, but still got it. Still got the job done. What else do I have here? Let's play I don't play this deck that much. Let's see. It's kind of based on the Chaos deck tech that I saw uploaded maybe a couple months ago or a month ago.
Thrall versus Garrosh.
Victory or death for Doomhammer.
Oh Lord. I don't know. Against a warrior, nothing comes to mind, at least for me. Oh, and I got the totem too that I needed. That figures. I'm uninspired with Shaman. I don't know why. I give it the I always try, you know, but Come on. Oh shit. I was hoping for the taunter, but of course not.
Try this.
I have no strategy at this point. I'm like, okay, what can I cast next turn? I can go boom. I could do a heal bot.
Elements guide me.
I still can't get a taunt. I should have probably just casted the Noyatron there, but we'll save that.
Elements guide me.
Risky, but hopefully it'll pay off. Oh, I forgot to attack with it. Oh, that's the bad thing about having a big monitor. I was looking in one direction and so stupid. Well, there we go. Just had way too much for him to overcome. Not bad. Nice little run. Well, there's a little bit of Hearthstone. I haven't uploaded many videos lately, and definitely haven't played Madden or Hoops or any NHL lately. I actually jumped on for 3 games last night and won them all at like midnight on NHL 15, and that was the first time I played in about a month. So looking forward to BlackRock coming out. I think I'll do some playthrough demos or playthrough videos and demo some of the new cards as I get them. I did pre-order it, so I do have the card back already. Lots of different card backs. It's pretty good. All right, boys. Peace.